Have you ever received a letter from a dear friend? One that was written not just with ink but with heart? That is what the Gospel of John feels like. It is a deeply personal account, written by someone who walked with, talked with, and truly knew Jesus. Imagine an old man, his hair white as snow, his eyes holding the memories of a lifetime. He dips his pen and begins to write, not just about events, but about a feeling. John begins his account in the most breathtaking way. He says, "In the beginning was the Word. Before the mountains were raised, before the oceans were filled, there was a thought, a voice, a divine expression." Then, John makes a statement that changed everything. This eternal Word did something unimaginable. It became human. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. The God who created the stars decided to walk on the dust of the earth. He was God with skin on, a presence that you could look into the eyes of and see pure, unconditional love looking back at you. A respected religious leader named Nicodemus came to Jesus under the cover of darkness. Jesus looked at this wise man and told him something that shook his understanding. "You must be born again." Under the bright glare of the midday sun, Jesus, tired from his journey, sat by a well and met a Samaritan woman. He offered her living water, a spiritual wellspring that would quench the deepest thirst of her soul forever. He went to the tomb and, with a loud voice, called out, "Lazarus, come out!" And the man who had been dead for 4 days walked out, alive. He is the resurrection and the life. He knelt down and washed their feet, a task reserved for the lowest of servants. He was showing them a new kind of love. "Love one another," he said, "as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." He was condemned to the most brutal form of execution, the cross. This was the ultimate darkness. Finally, with the words, "It is finished," he breathed his last. It was a cry not of defeat, but of completion. But on the third day, as the first light of a new morning broke over the horizon, they found an impossibility. The tomb was empty. And then, she heard a voice call her name, "Mary." She turned, and through her tears she saw him. It was Jesus. Death had lost its sting. The light of the world had not been extinguished. It had burst forth from the tomb, more brilliant than ever before. John wrote all these things for one reason, so that we might believe that Jesus is the Christ, and that by believing we may have life in his name. This is not just a story from the past, it is a living hope for today. A promise that no matter how dark the night may seem, the light will always return. If this story has touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others who need to hear this message of hope.